There are places where a single step feels like crossing into another world, where colossal mountains have been carved by time across millions of years. Rivers here carry the memory of entire civilizations. Within this grandeur of nature lie wonders that force the modern mind to ask, how were these made? This is China, a land where nature and history intertwine to create scenes beyond imagination. On today's journey, we will visit sites that even seasoned travelers find arresting. From colossal statues hewn directly from cliff faces, to precarious timber walkways clinging hundreds of meters, above yawning chasms, to golden waterfalls that thunder with the raw voice of nature. Each site conceals its own story, its own secret, and an awe that photographs cannot fully convey. Yet the most bewildering landscapes still lie ahead. In the closing minutes of our route, we will enter regions almost severed from the modern world, a land of harsh climates, forbidding terrain, and phenomena so strange the line between reality and illusion begins to blur. It is one of China's most remote and mysterious places. Stay with us to the end, perhaps among sheer cliffs, sweeping rivers, and realms pulled from legend. You will discover a scene that will remain with you forever. If one place moves you most, leave a note in the comments. Now, let us begin. Chapter 1. Picturesque locales and the finesse of ancient architecture. Fenghuang Ancient Town in Hunan Province is indispensable. Its vistas recall ink-wash paintings, wooden houses clustered along the banks of the Zhujiang River, built in the traditional stilt house manner. Wooden pillars are driven deep into the riverbed to support structures above the water. Stone bridges here are more than 3 centuries old. Silent witnesses to history's tides, the town's worn blue-green stone streets bear the footprints of generations. Walking these narrow alleys, one senses time itself in the grain of each timber. At dusk, thousands of red lanterns are lit. Their reflections ripple across the river, transforming the night into a luminous tableau. The union of landscape, ancient dwellings, and enduring customs makes this place timeless. Legend holds that the phoenix returned here to bless the town with prosperity, a symbol of good fortune and lasting peace, continuing the thread of ancient culture. Wangshan Valley in Jiangxi Province is known for its quiet, mysterious beauty. The name Wangshan, viewing the immortals, evokes myths of wise spirits roaming these lands. Limestone ridges wind around the valley, while crystal-clear streams cut through rock. Rest pavilions and observation towers rise from stone and timber in traditional form. Most remarkable are dwellings built onto sheer cliff faces more than 100 meters high. How ancient builders transported materials and anchored foundations at such heights remains a marvel. Suspended bridges link these homes, creating passages that hover between earth and sky.
Each season brings a new mood. Spring blossoms carpet the paths. Autumn leaves form golden layers beneath your feet. These structures testify to humanity's capacity to adapt to extreme terrain. Speaking of water, Tianchi, the heavenly lake, must be mentioned. Perched at 1,900 meters, Lake Tianchi lies where the air is thin and cool year-round. Fir forests and snow-capped peaks of the Tianshan Range surround its glassy surface, which, under sunlight, becomes a vast mirror reflecting an unclouded blue. Its jade blue hue arises from snowmelt and mineral deposits. In winter, ice can thicken beyond 1 meter, transforming the lake into a frozen domain. Locally, the lake figures in ancient lore as the bathing place of the Queen Mother of the West. Pilgrims believe that touching its cold waters can wash away worldly fatigue. Equally pristine is Basongkwo Lake in Tibet, a hidden jewel within the Himalayas. The lake extends like a sapphire ribbon at 3,500 meters, where clouds leisurely trace the mountain slopes. At its center sits a small dragon-shaped islet, crowned by a monastery dating from the 7th century, housing bronze figures and delicate wood carvings. Prayer flags flutter continuously, carrying silent petitions for peace. During major festivals, Tibetans circumambulate the lake in devotional procession. Temple bells resonate through the hush, producing an almost impossible serenity. Chapter 2. Monumental Works and Beliefs Carved into Rock. The Leshan Giant Buddha in Sichuan, the world's largest stone Buddha, is carved into the cliff of Mount Ermei. One must look upward to behold the head of this 71-meter figure. Its shoulders span 24 meters. 1 foot alone can hold over 100 people. Construction began in 713 AD under the Tang dynasty and continued for 90 years. More than an artistic achievement, it is an ancient engineering feat. Millions of tons of rock were removed to shape the Buddha, intended to tame turbulent waters at the confluence of the Min, Dadu, and Qingyi rivers. An ingenious drainage system, hidden within the statue's hair and behind its ears, channels rainwater away. This design has preserved the sculpture from erosion for over 1,300 years. Not far away, the Longmen Grottoes in Henan rank among humanity's greatest Buddhist sculptures. A 1-kilometer cliff beside the Yi River, bearing over 100,000 carved Buddhas. Some reach 17 meters tall, with faces rendered in exquisite detail. Each stone plane has been polished and shaped to recreate the spiritual worlds of dynasties from northern Wei to Tang. The river curling beneath the cliff heightens the solemnity of these ancient acts. Inside the caves, cool air and absolute silence envelop the visitor. The impetus for these carvings was imperial devotion. Emperors marshalled tens of thousands of artisans over centuries to inscribe their faith into stone. In the same spirit stand the Yungang Grottoes in Shanxi, another cultural marvel carved into the Wuzhou cliffs. Comprising 30 principal caves and more than 51,000 Buddhist figures, the grottos display an array of sizes, from tiny statuettes to massive 17-meter works. Their sculpted drapery and enigmatic smiles reveal artistic exchanges among India, Central Asia, and China along the Silk Road. The towering cliffs and untamed surroundings amplify the impression. These caves are both sacred sites and testament to human creativity guided by devotion. Mount Ermei, one of China's 4 sacred Buddhist mountains, rises to 3,099 meters. It shelters more than 3,000 plant species and draws pilgrims and naturalists alike. On its golden summit stands a 4-faced Buddha statue 48 meters tall, catching the sun's rays. From this vantage, one may stand above a sea of clouds and see one's own shadow reflected in the mist. This Buddha's halo is an optical phenomenon caused when sunlight scatters through suspended water droplets. Mount Ermei also preserves over 30 ancient temples hidden deep in the forest, holding thousands of hand-copied sutras and rare relics. The convergence of cloud, bell and canopy creates a distinct spiritual atmosphere. Chapter 3: Vertiginous Peaks and Tests of Endurance. For extreme exposure, Mount Hua in Shanxi is unparalleled, among the steepest mountains on Earth. Its highest peak reaches 2,154 meters, with narrow trails carved along near-vertical cliffs. The most harrowing feature is the plank walk, a wooden path scarcely 30 centimeters wide, affixed by iron pegs to the mountainside. Traversing it requires a safety harness, as cliffs plunge over 600 meters below. Cold gusts bite the skin, and the planks tremble beneath every step. At sunset, elongated shadows across the sand create an ominous, mysterious mood. Deep in Hubei province lies the Shennongjia primeval forest, wrapped in legends of wild men. Its more than 3,200 square kilometers and peaks above 3,000 meters are forever cloaked in mist. Among the most pristine ecosystems, its ancient trees are thousands of years old. Scientists have recorded reports of large, humanoid-like creatures within the forest, giant footprints and strange hairs that match no known species. Sunlight scarcely reaches the forest floor, creating a damp, dim world. Subterranean streams produce echoing sounds. Visitors often report a persistent sense of being watched by hidden eyes. The mystery endures. Chapter 5: Harsh Lands Where Time Seems to Pause. Wubang Village, deep within the Maili snow mountains, is among China's most remote settlements. At 3,000 meters and ringed by perpetual snow, no paved road reaches it. Access is by foot or horseback over steep passes. Isolation has preserved Wubang's traditional life. At dawn, cattle bells blend with chanting from small temples to form a tranquil morning. Residents live largely self-sufficiently, herding yaks and tending alpine meadows. They believe each surrounding peak houses guardian deities. Some visitors come seeking spiritual calm, removed from modern noise. Wubang feels as if time has stood still for centuries. Finally, we reach the Qinghai Tibet Plateau in Qinghai Province, China's largest wilderness. This highland endures extreme climate at an average elevation above 4,500 meters. Mean temperatures remain below 0 degrees Celsius, and harsh winds sweep across the plains. With oxygen levels roughly half those of lowlands, long-term human habitation is difficult. Yet it is sanctuary for the Tibetan antelope and many rare species. Each year, tens of thousands of antelopes migrate hundreds of kilometers here to breed. Glinting lakes and parched grasslands form a landscape at once vast and solitary. Many visitors report hallucinations from severe hypoxia. Electronic devices often malfunction under intense magnetic fields and extreme conditions. The Qinghai Tibet Plateau testifies to nature's absolute power. Such is China, a land of the improbable, where the boundary between reality and the unreal blurs. From death-defying peaks to tranquil spiritual valleys, each step opens a new page. Will you dare to confront nature's terrifying magnificence, or choose the serenity of ancient villages? Whatever your choice, these wonders endure, standing through millions of years, waiting to touch the most distant parts of the human heart. This journey of discovery has no final chapter. Just when you think you understand, a new mystery appears. The tales of stone, water, and people continue on, calling to those whose hearts yearn to explore the endless beauty of this world.